compared to Petra. I'm so fucking stupid. I'm fucking stupid in like games and outside of games. So, unfortunately, I've been blessed with this stupidity. But the good thing about having stupidity is that like you're more like naive to things. So when things, for example, if somebody was like kind of low-key shading me in front of my face, I probably wouldn't get it. I'd just be like, what is he saying? So that's kind of like the best part about being so stupid and naive. It's actually like, it's very convenient. Like, I will not get many things. So yeah, like that's probably why I'm pretty positive. It's because I see things a different way, you know what I mean? I just go like, what? And then I don't think about it. So that's kind of like the con to having like no brain cells. But seriously though, it's really convenient. We love all of you, Enna. Please don't sell yourself short. No, I'm serious. It's true. I like being stupid. It really helps. I really like it. You know, I can't even tell you guys how many times I've avoided many bad dark situations because of my stupidity. Actually, it's actually very convenient and I'm almost kind of grateful. Yeah. There was this one time in school, my two friends were fighting. Like actually fighting. Like they were about to like physically, they were physically pushing each other. They were going to punch each other in the face. I don't know what happened. For some reason, I thought they were joking. They were legit serious, but I never thought that my two friends would have the capacity to be so mad at each other. And so in my brain, for some reason, when I saw both of them, I was just like, what do they do? Oh, they're really bad actors. I even thought that. I was like, yo, what, are they trying to do something for drama class? Because they're really bad actors. I was legit not convinced that they were fighting. And then one of my other friends, like a third friend who was a bystander, they're like, oh my god, Enna, oh, you gotta say something. They're actually like going to fight each other. And I looked at her in the face. I was like, are you joking me? Like, are you guys trying to prank me? And she was like looking at me like terrified, like, what the fuck? I was like smiling at my friend, like, you guys, like, come on, stop it. This is not a funny prank, okay? You guys are so bad at acting. Come on. I looked at her in the face and said that, and she was like, Enna, I'm serious. They're gonna punch each other in the face. And so I went in between them. I'm like, are you guys like, you guys are really bad actors. Like, are you guys, is this how you act when you're angry? Because if you, like, do you want me to show you like how people actually act like when they're angry? Because like, you guys look like you are like C tier actors, you know, actors and actresses, like seriously. And when I said that, they laughed so hard, and apparently after they laughed, they just forgot about the fight. They're just like, you know what, it's fine. And they're like, and then my third bystander friend was like, oh my god, Enna, how did you do that? You're such a genius. I was like, what is happening? What? All I did was give them some pointers on how to act better. And they're like, no, Enna, we were actually in a fight. Like, what the fuck, are you dumb? I was like, so I actually lied. I was like, oh yeah, I knew you guys were fighting. I was just playing around, you know. I didn't know what to say, so like, I just thought that pretending that you guys weren't fighting would be a very good way to stop you guys from not fighting. And they actually legit believed me. So, you know, that's an example of like how stupid I can be, but also being very convenient. I saved them. I saved their faces and their friendship. So honestly though, it's really not that bad. But really, like, if you saw them, like if you saw their faces, they really did look like they were acting. I don't know, maybe it's because I've seen my father get actually angry and it actually looks super angry. So perhaps like their facial structures or expressions didn't quite like convince me or scare me enough to believe that they were angry. I think that's it. Because when my dad is angry, holy shit, he doesn't even have to yell and I'll get scared. I'll know. I can feel the atmosphere. So, did you ever find out what they were fighting about? I don't remember. I really don't, unfortunately. Cause I kind of came in last minute, so I didn't even know what they were fighting about to begin with, and they didn't tell me afterwards, so I also didn't ask because I really didn't care. It's probably something like a boy or something, I don't know. But I mean, that being said, I have very good intuition, so I mean, it can't really escape me. If I know somebody's taking advantage of me, it's very easy for me to tell. I'm only stupid in like situations and stuff like that, like. But like, if I know somebody's trying to like manipulate me, I can catch on to it very, very quickly. I wouldn't call that being smart, but just probably being very intuitive. So thank you, gods of heaven, for giving me at least some good intuition. Friends fighting over boys are so stupid. Yeah, I think so too. But you know what? We were all young, so it's fine. I think you have to have one stupid fight. Even though I've never been in a stupid fight. I've literally never had a stupid fight. All of my fights were legit. And if anybody were placed in my situation, they would legit just be angry. I've never fought over any stupid thing like a dude or a girl or anything petty, to be honest, because I don't have time for that. I'm too stupid to think about stuff like that. Being smart and wise are two different things. You can be dumb but aware, or you can be smart and unaware. That's a very good point. I really do believe that. I don't think if you go outside, there's people working at like jobs, like very good paying jobs, and there's people who have just come out of university with like a very, very good degree or diploma, and you know, they're very how do you say it? Like, they're very prestigious. But then the moment you ask them to do something simple like, oh, I don't know, like, because I used to work retail, so I bumped into a lot of customers who would kind of have small talk with me. And they would always kind of low-key brag about like what they've accomplished in life. Like, oh yeah, I just graduated from my major, Biochem. And I'll be applying for a job in, I don't know, I don't fucking care. But anyways, so, and then we would actually guide the conversation to like, I don't know, something like cooking or something, you know? I think I remember talking to this one girl who just graduated from Biochem, and then I was like, oh yeah, something, we were talking about food for some reason, and then it went to the conversation of, oh, what sort of things do you like to cook? And then this girl was like, like, you mean preparing for Uber Eats? And I was like, what? No. I was like, no, like, you know, like cooking. Like, you said that you like cuisines and stuff, and you have an interest in, you know, cuisines, and so I was wondering if you like cooked anything, you know, just small talk to try to like sell stuff to her. And this girl was like, well, I've made eggs one time, but unfortunately it burned. I was like, sorry, what did you say your major was? Wasn't it like biochem? Isn't like biochem related to like, I don't know, don't you need to be very precise and very logical? And you know, cooking and baking, it's also science, you know? It's you have to, you know, you have to cook your food to a certain temperature, and also, you know, it's almost the same thing. It's very, very close. I was very surprised. So I asked, I was like, oh, it's kind of funny because, like, you know, they always say that food, like cooking or baking, is very similar to doing, to science, because, you know, there's kind of like a science behind cooking. So I'm surprised that you don't know how to cook eggs. And then I think when I said that, she kind of got offended. Even though I said it as a joke, I really didn't mean it in a bad way. I was just like kind of teasing her, because that's my thing. I like to tease people. I also like to tease strangers, unfortunately. So she was like, yeah, I'm too busy to be cooking. So a lot of the times while I'm studying and trying to apply for jobs, I just Uber Eat, because I absolutely have no time to be cooking eggs. And I just like mumbled under my breath, eggs take only 2 minutes to cook. Anyways, I sold her whatever she wanted, so, you know, win-win, you know. I don't know, but yeah, I don't really like how people can be very, I do, like, she was very smart, obviously. Like, she was very articulate with her words and how she acted. But then, you know, sometimes they really don't know basic things, which I think is really, really funny. Not that I'm making fun of them. I just think it's such a contrast, you know? So yeah, there's definitely people who are really smart, but they're not very wise. And I think part of being wise is also trying to be humble. I think being humble is a trait that I really, really do look for in many, many people. I really, really like people who are humble. You can be like the most successful person in the world, but if you're bragging about it, it's such a turn off. I don't know. I think it's really, if you have so much success and you've gained so much knowledge and experiences, but you feel the need to flaunt it all the time, I think it's so stupid. I think you should really think that your work should be the one, you know, telling the world what you've done, and what you've achieved, and not so much like saying it all the time. Like if you have to go around telling everybody that you've, like, I don't know, that you've worked for Apple or something, or like you're the manager of Apple, I think that really says a lot about your confidence and how you don't really understand like true appreciation to what you've achieved in your life. An achievement isn't really something to brag about. It's something that you should hold value to in your heart, and it will show. It will definitely show. Like if you're, again, the manager of Apple, that's a big thing, and people know that. It's a very big thing. So that's why I feel that you really don't need to say too much if you focus on your own thing. I'm not really talking about people who are like, oh, I got a new job and I'm really happy. That's different. I'm talking about the people who always have to flaunt everything that they do. I think it's really annoying. I think it really is annoying. Unfortunately, there are people like that, and it's fine. I give it to them, like, oh yeah, congratulations, like I'm really happy for you. But yeah, there has to be a line. I think being humble should be practiced more, especially in this generation. People are forgetting more and more how to be humble, and I don't know. I think it's personally, I don't want to like put it on other people, but personally, I really think being humble gives you a broader perspective, because if you're humble and you take a step back and you know not to like always talk about yourself or your achievements, you get to kind of you kind of notice other people's situations more and other people's lives more. So it really makes you think, because instead of like thinking about yourself all the time, you are actually looking outwards and, you know, thinking about other people and how to kind of improve their life, or, you know, improve everybody's life. And I think that's better, in my opinion. I think if you're always thinking about yourself and, you know, always focusing on yourself, you forget to kind of look outwards. And that's probably why we have a lot of people who, you know, are struggling. Like if somebody needed help but the people around them don't notice, it really says a lot about our world. And it's kind of coming to that, and when I think about it, I feel really sad. It's something I really think we need to work on. Even me, seriously. I think as like I'm not saying like everybody here, I'm saying everybody in the world. I really think being humble should be talked about more in schools, and, you know, it's very important. I don't know how to explain it. It really is. If you can just take a step back and think about, oh, you know, this person's struggling and I'm in a very good position. What can I do to help this person? You know, not like succeed, but just help push them and guide them to a better place. I think that will, if one person does that to one other person, imagine how many people in this world would be so much happier. Instead of being so segregated between like people who are very successful and then people who aren't very successful, you know. But you know, it's very hard, you know, because there's so many people in the world. I think humility comes with life experience. Those who haven't tasted hardship don't understand. I think so too. It really sucks when you think about it. But I think the people who really, really struggle in their life are the ones who end up being more aware of these things. It just sucks that you have to go through something to be able to have that sort of perspective. People just care too much about themselves. Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who like are very inconsiderate, I would have to say. I don't like to think that way. I like to give people a chance. But the fact is that I've bumped into way too many people who aren't very considerate and not enough people who are considerate, and it's very hard. It's very hard because I see it, you know? I see it, and sometimes I have to kind of like ignore it or just accept it. Wish I met more people like you in real life, honestly. At least who are conscious about how people view themselves more. People are walking around unconscious. Yeah, I really do believe that. I'm a little afraid of sharing stuff like this because it kind of makes me sound like I'm blaming humanity. Or like I'm kind of saying like the majority of people suck. Which really isn't the case. I just think we have a lot to improve on. Because we're so privileged, you know? And being so privileged, I feel like we really have to step it up. Being privileged is fine. But we need to share it with the people who aren't, you know? I think that's why we have... I don't know. I feel like that's why we are here, to have the capacity to have such complex emotions and have such complex thoughts. It's because we should be doing something good, you know? But instead, we're going the other way! Yeah, I don't know. It's very hard sometimes, you know? Anyways, let's continue. I'm so glad many of you guys here understand. I am a little afraid to share stuff like this because, you know, I don't want to make it sound like, oh my god, Anna, stop preaching about the like, who care, like, people care about themselves, what's wrong with that, like, they're living their own life, like, I have to take care of someone else. That's literally not my point. And I feel like if you don't understand my point, you gotta live your life a little longer. Yeah, because everybody struggles. But it's just the fact that we all struggle by ourselves that is a very, very sad thing. Instead of like reaching out and helping other people, we just like cry by ourselves, you know, and that absolutely sucks. Thanks guys, thanks for supporting. You know, just, you know, my perspective on, I don't even know how we got to this topic, to be honest, but just my perspective on something like this. I really, really want to teach you guys, and, you know, hopefully like a lot of the younger generation. I'm not saying I'm not that old, okay? I'm serious. I've been through so much in my life. Unfortunately, I can confidently say that compared to my age range and my peers, I've really, really been through a lot, which absolutely sucks. But the only thing that I'm really grateful from is that I've learned so much from my experiences and struggles. I've learned so much. Like, if I compared myself to how I was 5 years ago, it's a complete 180. I can't even describe it, and you guys really would not be able to understand how much I've changed. It's been such a roller coaster. There's been good and bad, mostly bad, but it's starting to be better, which is what I'm looking forward to. So I really, because I have a platform, some sort of platform, and I'm able to reach out to most people around the world, I really want to take time to kind of talk about stuff more stuff related to things like this. Oh my god, I can't speak. I really wanted to talk about things like this because I think it's important, and I think not a lot of people talk about stuff like this. It's a very difficult topic to approach, and I feel like I'm probably one of the worst people to be approaching this topic without like getting cancelled or getting a lot of hate from it, which I, you know, honestly, if I were If I weren't stupid, this would be a problem. But because I am, this is not a problem. So, yeah, I would love to kind of have more conversations about stuff like this. And hopefully a lot of like the younger folks who are in my audience, in my Alu Peep group, can kind of learn. I know it's kind of like difficult to understand, especially if you're very young, because somebody else has gone through all of this sort of thing and you haven't yet. But I hope you guys can at least put a little bit of trust in me and understand where I'm coming from. I just want to make the world a better place. That's all. I just want to do that, you know. And also I want to learn how to play games. That's another thing. That's second or third on my list. Get you complete. When I look at my past life, I know that all the hardships I've been through have made me the better person I am today. Yeah, literally. Going through things it's terrible, guys, really. Like, nobody deserves it. But the only thing you can really get from it is becoming better than who you were before. So if you can make a better version of yourself out of like a horrible situation, you've literally succeeded. I literally think that's what success is. If you can better yourself when at your worst state, then you really you've lived your life very well. I think it's a great accomplishment that many people, unfortunately, living their entire life, they're unable to do. So be proud of it. If you've been through things and you've learned from it and you've grown from it, you've accomplished what many people, probably like 90% of the world. Maybe not 90, maybe like 60, 70. You've accomplished way more than the people at the very top who are earning money but still not understanding why they're so miserable. So be proud, okay? Yes, be proud! Me talking to myself. Okay, let's continue with the Supas. Jatrico, hope you're doing well, Anna. Although we can't take away the darkness, we can ease it up a bit, and our dimly lit candle can at least guide you somewhere brighter. We'll put in our best effort so you can walk towards it. Thank you, Jatrico. That's so sweet. Thank you. That's a really nice message. I think everyone else and I needed to hear that. So thank you, Jatrico. Mwah. I hope you're doing well. If not, I hope you can overcome it. Well, I've definitely overcome it because this game was fucking hilarious. We all have our own struggles and it's fine to take a step back. We're only human. I'm a bird, but I'm also human. What's important is what we do after. Love you lots. That is so true. That is very true. The important thing is what we do next. We shouldn't be focusing on what we have already did. So we must always look forward. As my father has always taught me, look forward, Enna. Look forward and move on in your life. Which is, easier said than done. Sometimes I look back and I'm just like, if I just did that one thing right, I wouldn't be here. But unfortunately, we are not a game. At least not that we know of. We can't go back, so the only way we can progress is to go forward. And yes, please look left and right too, so that you don't get hit by a car, because then if you get hit by a car, then you cannot no longer go forward or backwards.